Hello. Today I am going to be showing the Quizizz website. It is quizizz.com. You can log in with a new account that is free to make. You can sign in with Google or Facebook instead if you are lazy. I created an account for my teaching name, Mr. Hamden, and I came across Quizizz when I was looking for a different computer software to use to ask my students questions that wasn't Kahoot, because I was getting annoyed at Kahoot. Kahoot encouraged students to rush through their answers because you get a lot more points the faster you do it. And so often, if it was a longer problem, they wouldn't try it and instead guess most of the time. And the biggest limit to Kahoot was a 2-minute question. So if you actually had something that required work, they would either, freak out and still just rush through it and pick the wrong answer or what. So I wanted something else, something that actually tested their knowledge. And that's when I came across Quizizz. So again, you can make a free account at Quizizz, and I'm going to just show some of the things I have there. Now, as a math teacher, I obviously have a lot of math-based quizzes that I've done and made myself, and ones that I've taken, because you can look for a quiz, search for keywords, and half the ones on here were actually ones that I just copied over from some other public account because they asked questions that were good enough for me. Quizzes, when you are playing it with your class, you can start your quiz, which we're going to give an example with. Let's go something easy. One-step inequalities, which you would click play live, proceed, and it would start to build your quizzes. The students were given a code, 398798, which they would log in on their own device. It could be used on a phone, another computer, and make an account, and then wait for the game to start. They give you a random avatar. Mine is a snake with a big eye, and this would be the board you just kind of display on a smartboard or projector or what, and you can see all the participants. And you can press start at any time as long as there's one student in there. The students will be able to join the quizzes at any point in the game as long as people are still answering questions. As you'll see, the projector board will have the link and code still up here along with the player stats as they answer questions. On this end, I'm given a question. This one is 23 is less than f plus 12. There is a countdown on the top that will decrease over time and make things worth less points like Kahoot. However, once it hits the bottom, it won't go on to the next question. It will still allow them, you could do it 10 minutes longer, 20 minutes, you can take as long as you need on this question. This one is going to be an answer of f is greater than 11. You'll get some points. It'll say correct. It'll give you a nice meme image. Update your rank. You'll get to see live ranks up here. This would update at the same time. And if you got something wrong, like this one, you get no points, but you still get a funny little joke to make it not as bad. Updated ranks and move on, so on. Now, this thing will automatically end if one person finishes all of their questions, and it will give an update that's really cool. You can look at live updates to see how your students are doing, correct versus incorrect. And once it is completed with a whole class worth, there'll be a nice display, which I will show you, because it saves your reports afterwards with your classes under the reports tab. So I look at an actual one from one of my classes last week. I get to see certain student names. They have nicknames that I have written down, so I can use this as a real grade and take like 100, a 93, or so on. You can look at it by the question, see how many people got it right. I could click on this to get a more detailed breakdown on who got it right and wrong, how long they took, which is the most important part of this in my mind. And there's this overview mode Some of these people without anything were making it and trying to do it a second time, but you can see like what question was hardest. Only 26% of the people got question 5 right, and it stands out more. You can scroll through and see what was the easy questions, what was the hardest ones, and these are all really good stats, including average time spent. Now, the best part about doing all of this is you can, it's really easy to make a quiz, so I'm going to just show you how. Close this tab now. Alright, call this test, quiz. In English, you could add an image, you can align it to standards, we're not doing that. I'm going to make a very basic social studies quizzes. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. First off, when you do it, it's going to show you how your questions will appear on a tablet or phone device, which is obviously very useful. You can insert images into your question if you'd rather have a question be an image you found on the internet. So I'm going to do something first. What is the capital of Texas? You don't have to do all 4. I think you need at least 2 options. Yes, you can do 4. So we're going to try San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, El Paso. I live in Houston, so I definitely want to give Houston as a choice. To select the correct answer, you can just hit the check here. And that would be it. You can also put how much time, which as you can see goes up to 15 minutes. So you can put some really intense questions in here. Time doesn't really matter that much. Save, and there, you got a question. That was really quick. Now, here's a different social studies question. Which countries are in Europe? Japan, Germany, France, and Canada. They recently, added this, and that you can have 2 correct answers and changes to multi-select. So you want it to be both of these answers, not just potential of 2. That way they can click how many ones they write and then hit submit. Now, if you kept it as single correct, then it's just saying both of the, you can't make it so that either one works. You have to do it so that it has to be both of these for it to be all the way correct. But again, very simple. And the latest cool feature they added, which is the USA, that each one of these can be a picture answer instead. So I can just go to a folder I already have ready for images. And then they can click a picture instead, which is great for questions like social studies, like deciding what country is what. Obviously, you could just ask a question with a picture, like what country is this, with one picture of America and then the 4 regular word choices. But this gives a different dynamic to it, which students will find a lot more engaging. And you can also put GIFs in there if you had cool GIF images of memes or whatever you wanted. I mean, it all works. And you can say that clearly this is a question they'll be able to see and understand on their device. Always have a correct answer. Once you're done, you can finish the quiz, then just ask some questions like what grade level. I'm not a social studies teacher, so maybe 2nd. Geography is what I ended up making. They just want some details because they want, if someone else wants to grab it, they can do it, and it's already made. Now you can play live, which is what I can showed, or you can do the homework mode, which you can just put a date that it needs to be done by and a certain PM. And if you hit proceed, as we'll see, you give them the code and then go home and do it on their own. And they just have that much time to go and do it. I ended up using this sort of thing as an open house assignment for the parents to go and do at home to fill out some basic information. It wasn't for filling out basic information. So it was just so they can see what their students are learning and see if they're as smart as their students. Other than that, this is Quizizz. It's a very helpful tool. You can do a lot with it, and the students love it, and they love seeing the leaderboards change mid-question. The questions are given in a random order, and it's just very fun for them. Thank you.